The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Elena of Terra gathered her datapads with deliberate precision. Her movements were unhurried, almost serene, as she straightened her uniform and faced the semicircle of alien delegates who had just voted humanity out of the Council. "The motion passes," announced High Counselor Zephrix, his crystalline voice echoing through the vast chamber. "Humanity's membership in the Galactic Council is hereby revoked, effective immediately." Elena nodded once, her dark eyes betraying nothing. Beside her, Lieutenant Moran finished downloading the last of their diplomatic files onto a portable drive. He caught her glance and gave an almost imperceptible shrug. They had both seen this coming. "We understand," Elena said simply. "We'll begin withdrawal protocols within the hour." The Vraxian delegate, Counselor Tharn, leaned forward in his hover seat, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction. "Your species has been problematic, too aggressive, too unpredictable. The Council requires stability." "Of course," Elena replied, her tone professionally neutral. "We wish you all the best." She turned to leave, Moran falling into step beside her. The other delegates exchanged confused glances. Where was the outrage? The threats? The human emotional volatility they'd come to expect? As the massive doors sealed behind the human delegation, Counselor Tharn permitted himself a satisfied rumble. "Finally, we can return to civilized discourse." But High Counselor Zephrix felt an unfamiliar sensation rippling through his crystalline matrix, something humans might have called unease. The first impact came within 6 hours. "High Counselor," a junior aide burst into Zephrix's private chambers, all protocol forgotten. "The hyperspace network, it's failing." Zephrix's form pulsed with alarm. "Explain." "The human technicians at Waystation Gamma. They've left. All of them. The quantum routers are destabilizing without their maintenance algorithms." "Use our own technicians," Zephrix commanded. We tried. None of us understand their calibration methods. The humans offered to document everything, but we told them it wasn't necessary during the transition period because we assumed they would continue working during the standard month-long handover. Zephrix finished, his glow dimming. "They took us at our word. Effective immediately means effective immediately." By the 12th hour, the medical corps made their discovery. The Vraxian delegate found himself in the Council's emergency medical bay, 3 of his subordinates beside him. All showed signs of Vraxian necrosis, a disease that had been virtually extinct for 2 decades. "Where are the human doctors?" Tharn demanded, his mandibles trembling. "Bring me Dr. Chen." The attending physician, a Queller, checked her datapad with trembling tentacles. The human medical staff departed at 800 hours, as per Council directive. They took their synthesizers with them. Synthesizers? The devices they used to manufacture the cure for Vraxian necrosis. Apparently, the formula requires a protein sequence that only exists in Earth's biosphere. We never developed our own production capability because human medicine was so readily available, and Tharn's roar of fury echoed through the medical bay. By the 24th hour, the situation had become critical. Elena sat in the observation deck of the TSS Endeavour, humanity's flagship, watching the Council station recede into the distance. Moran approached with 2 cups of coffee. Real Earth coffee, not the synthetic alternatives the other species preferred. "They're hailing us," he said quietly. "For the 17th time." "Let them wait," Elena replied, accepting the cup. "We're following their directive. They wanted us gone immediately. We're being respectful of their wishes." Moran allowed himself a small smile. "The news feeds are going wild. The markets crashed when our traders pulled out. Apparently humans were handling 73% of all interspecies currency exchanges. We did offer to train replacements," Elena noted. "They declined." "The security feeds are interesting too," Moran continued. "Crime rates on Council stations have tripled since our peacekeepers withdrew. Turns out the other species aren't as good at de-escalating conflicts between different alien psychologies." Elena sipped her coffee. We did warn them that our experience mediating between our own diverse cultures gave us unique skills in that area. There's more, Miran said, his expression growing serious. The Queller agricultural colonies are reporting crop failures. Without human-designed pollination drones, their yields are down 60%. And the Zenith mining operations? Completely halted. Apparently only humans were crazy enough to work in unstable asteroid fields. Something about us being recklessly brave and having no sense of proper self-preservation. Elena turned from the viewport, her eyes finally showing a glimmer of something. Not quite satisfaction, but perhaps vindication. They called us problematic, aggressive, unpredictable. They never said essential, Miran finished. The communication panel chimed again. This time, the priority indicator flashed red, a council emergency session. Elena set down her cup and straightened her uniform. I suppose we should take this one. High Counselor Zephrix's crystalline form appeared on the view screen, his usual luminescence noticeably dimmed. Ambassador Elena, we the Council request an emergency negotiation session. I'm afraid we're already quite distant from Council space, Elena replied. As per your directive. Please. The word seemed to pain the High Counselor. We acted. Hastily. We failed to appreciate the full extent of humanity's contributions to Council infrastructure. You mean you failed to notice we were holding everything together? Miran muttered, just loud enough to be heard. Zephrix's glow flickered with what might have been embarrassment. We would like to renegotiate humanity's status. Perhaps a provisional membership while we discuss. Full membership, Elena interrupted, with veto power on any future expulsion votes, and formal recognition of humanity's essential services. Behind Zephrix, she could see Counselor Tharn. The Vraxian's mandibles clicked in protest, but he said nothing. The purple lesions of necrosis were visible on his carapace. We also require a formal apology, Elena continued, and updated trade agreements that properly value human expertise. Zephrix was quiet for a long moment. Then, agreed. All of it. Will you return? Elena glanced at Miran, who raised his coffee cup in a silent toast. She turned back to the view screen. We'll consider it, she said. But Ambassador Elena, of Terra doesn't come running the moment you realize your mistake. We'll take our time. Maybe a week. Maybe 2. After all, you wanted us gone immediately. Surely you can manage a little while longer without us. She closed the channel before Zephrix could respond. In the silence that followed, Miran chuckled. That might have been the most diplomatic I told you so in human history. Elena smiled, a real smile this time. We didn't build half the galaxy's infrastructure just to be called problematic. Sometimes the quiet ones are the ones you need to pay attention to. So when do we actually go back? Tomorrow morning, Elena admitted. The medical situation is getting serious, and I'm not about to let people die to prove a point. But they don't need to know that yet. Miran raised his cup again. To humanity. Still saving everyone's ass even when they don't appreciate it. To humanity, Elena echoed, the problematic species the galaxy can't live without. Outside the viewport, the stars stretched into lines as the Endeavor prepared to turn around. The galaxy would learn its lesson today. Humanity might leave quietly, but their absence would echo louder than any words ever could.